Everyone, welcome to my first vlog. I wanted to keep you updated with what I'm doing, and this vlog in particular is going to be talking about what I've been doing during this quarantine time. So here we go. Let's get right into it. So first things first, I wanted to touch base on what I've been doing during this quarantine time. It's been around 2.5 months. By the time you see this video, it'll probably be 3 months. So I want to show all of you what I've been up to. So I've been working on some projects outside of just practicing and just playing the violin, and I've also been doing a lot of teaching, but we'll get into that in a moment. First off, just wanted to tell you about a new project that I've started around 2.5 months ago, and that is the Violin Podcast. I really enjoy podcasting. I love podcasting. If you haven't heard about the Everyday Musician podcast, which I'm the host and creator of, please make sure to listen to those episodes because they're pretty incredible with the people I get to speak to. Season 3 is going to be dropping in the fall, so make sure you subscribe, you get those notifications on those. But yeah, Violin Podcast is pretty much my number one priority right now. I want to scale it into a business, and podcasting is actually relatively new compared to platforms like YouTube. So there's a lot of potential, and I'm curious how the podcast platform and podcasting in general is going to play out. But and I'm curious to know what it's going to be like podcasting and trying to incorporate that into the music industry. And from what I've gathered right now, it's more so like trying to figure out, so there's a lot of like trial and error, and I think there's a future in podcasting. I think musicians should get into the podcast world. It's still really early enough, and if you don't hop on this train right now, it's going to be too late in the future. So I encourage everybody to just start making their first episode. I love podcasting. I love talking to people. I love enjoying conversations with people who I've never met. So those are all like really amazing things that I get to experience through podcasting. So I just had a weird itch right here where I'm sitting, and it's a very bright day out. It's really hot, and it's just gorgeous. So that's why I wanted to do this first vlog outside. Another thing that I've been doing during this quarantine time is resting. And if you know me personally, that I am sitting in the car all the time. I'm driving from gigs to lessons, sometimes lessons to gigs, whether it be a wedding, whether it be an orchestra rehearsal, or I'm teaching all day and I have to drive home. I'm always in the car. So this was like a great opportunity for me to take advantage of the rest that I'm stuck at home, and I'm still teaching online, yes, of course, but also just like trying to spend more time at home, trying to kind of reprioritize what I value in my music career and also in life. I think this was a very eye-opening period for the last 3 months, and I hope that we all kind of continue on this journey of kind of like self-reflection on what we can do to help our music careers and even ourselves individually. I was told once that you can't play well if you don't feel well, and I think that's very true with entrepreneurship too. Like if you feel burnt out, then it's okay to rest. It's okay to take a couple weeks off, or dare I say even a month. Take a month off, and it's okay to have that rest. I definitely had my time to rest, but for me, like once I have my rest, I'm re-energized, I'm ready to go, and I'm pedal to the metal. That's why I'm so excited to be starting these projects like Violin Podcast, and to go all in on Everyday Musician Podcast, and go all in on making sure that my students succeed during this time. And those are the things that I really value most, is my students succeeding. And I want to make sure that every student finds success during this time. And everybody took this quarantine differently, and I just wanted to show my support to these kids. And it was a really big learning process for me. How can I give the best value to students? I think that's super crucial during this time. Like, in addition to violin lessons, what am I going to give them? So that was a question that I asked myself in the beginning of this pandemic and the beginning of this quarantine. And actually, as it turned out pretty well. The students had just recently had their end of year recitals, and they're all so proud. They all worked so hard, and they were so diligent, and they were on top of the practice, I just love my students so much. And for me, one of my biggest things about this pandemic is that it actually showed me a lot more like how much I love teaching. And if you knew me back maybe 3 or 4 years ago, you would have been like, Eric, you said you didn't want to be a teacher. And it's like a complete 180 for me. And I actually love teaching. I love being around students and kids and offering my knowledge, giving good advice on not just music, but also like everything related to music, like history and life. And I think music is also a reflection of life. And that's something that I'll also take to my grave personally, because music has saved my life in many ways. And I want it to, give the value to my students. That being said, I like educating people. And that's why I started the Violin Podcast, because I wanted to provide a free resource for people just to listen to professional violinists, having successful careers, and also like sharing their practice tips, sharing their practice methods. Every single person, every single violinist is different, and I just enjoy kind of picking their brains and sharing their knowledge with the world. And something that I've thought a lot about, and what I've talked to on my podcast, is like, where do we go from this? Where do we go from this pandemic? And it's really hard to tell. Every musician that I kind of talk to, they're like, yeah, we have no idea what we're doing. We have no idea how to earn a living in classical music and how to move forward from this. And I think this is a conversation that we'll continue to have. So please leave a comment down below if you want to have that conversation. I reply to every single comment, so I want to hear from you. And all in all, I want to try doing more of these vlogs, because it gets to be more personal between me and you. And I just want to share my life with you. I want to share my life with you, and also kind of document for myself, so that way 5 or 10 years down the road I can be like, wow, we went through a pandemic together and this is what I was doing during this pandemic, and trying to kind of make sense of all of that. So there you have it. There's my first vlog. Make sure to subscribe, hit those bell notifications for future videos. I do videos on my channel on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so we would love to have you on here. See you around.